Morning, Piggy.
Morning, it's Saturday morning to you. Y'all know it's a Friday morning, but y'all see this Saturday morning, so Saturday morning to you. It's another day. It's the end of the week. It's a Friday.
It's also the end of the month.
Okay.
At least last day of the month.
I can hang with that. We're gonna go get some go-go juice. We've done good since we found this new route. We've gone all week plus an extra trip on this tank of gas. It is currently halfway between quarter and half. A little bit below that by the time we get there to fill up. But we made it all the way to Friday. Normally we're stretching it to get to Thursday. But that shorter route, the original route was doing about 400 miles a week. Then we started doing a little bit different route. That brought it down some, a good bit. Now the route we're taking now makes it about 280 miles a week. That's a 120 mile difference. That makes a difference on the gas and how far it'll go. So that route we're now taking is also a lot less hectic than the other two. Of course, we're going to get real hectic here in a minute. We're going to go up Cleveland Highway.
Yeah.
Go to the Juice 'em Up station. Well, folks, that rabbit hole is getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Learning something about Bill Barr last night. He was supposed to be a conservative. Now it turns out his daddy believed in a shadow government, believed in a government behind the government. Straight up communist stuff going on. I'm just going to tell you. Now, I don't care which side of the aisle you're on. If you're a POS, you're a POS. Bill Barr is a POS. And yeah, his daddy believed in a shadow government. Was doing things towards that end. Also had ties with the CIA, I think it was, they said.
Yeah, I think it's called the OSS before it became CIA.
Yeah. And Epstein was recruited by him to go to some college thing that he did, and they made him an operative. Well, Ghislaine Maxwell, her daddy, had ties with MI6 or something such. Folks, some really shady dealings. Oh yeah, here we go. Got that good. Been listening to all sorts of stuff. All that big ring is a global network, apparently, of all sorts of stuff, child sex trafficking included. And even heard Mossad mentioned in the mix. That's kind of an Israeli special forces type thing. So that rabbit hole is deep, folks. The Epstein list coming out. A lot of folks saying got botched. Well, no, it didn't really get botched. What happened is you still got FBI that are going under the orders of, quote unquote, the old order. And a lot of it too, probably because they tried to save their hides.
Yeah.
They withheld tons of documents and evidence on the Epstein case.
Over 1,000 something.
Thousands.
Yeah, 1,000.
Thousands.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't botched. They got hamstrung. That's all right. I I'm pretty sure as soon as Cash got that letter from Bondi, he had his butt up in New York with a team that he selected, and those agents there at that office probably sitting there in handcuffs, being questioned.
That's what I say. It sounds like that somebody gonna get fired.
Oh, they gonna get more fired. Being fired is gonna be the least of their problems. They gonna be getting hit with treason. So, anyway, all that stuff's going on. And again, I say, that rabbit hole goes deep. Way, way deep. So, things are moving. A lot of people disagree with how they're going to bring that thing out. In phases. Folks, there's so much to it. One, they gave it to some influencers. I think Benny said that ALX was one of those that got it. So Benny will have it. Just the phase one part of it. And like I explained to one influencer in comments, you know, you think about it, where do most people get their news and information from anymore? Independent podcasters. Because most people ain't going to sit there and go looking it up to go read it for themselves. They're relied on these podcasters to have stuff. Listen to them to get it.
Nobody trusts MSM anymore if they're smart.
Oh, the MSM is straight up propaganda machine at the behest of the Democrats and USAID and all that. They are managed news. If you're listening to them, you're not, like one post I shared, you're not being informed if you're listening to them, you're being manipulated. And folks, that be facts. So, you're still listening to them, I feel sorry for you. Because you're getting all upset, fighting mad over them plucking your heartstrings, thinking it's going to be this or that. You know, Pelosi up there putting her 2 cents worth in about that bill, claiming it's going to take Medicaid, Medicare away from folks, harm the people. Yeah. Well, according to Mike Johnson, there ain't not one thing about Medicaid, Medicare in that bill. They're not cutting anything from it. What they are doing is stuff that would hurt all them Democrats up there, leaning off the fluff that's being paid into it. They stand to lose a lot of money because that part of it's getting cut out. So the ones that are talking about getting hurt is themselves. They ain't talking about the people. They don't care about you. Not a bit. That's why they're fighting it so hard, is because they're going to lose.
Yeah.
They're going to get cut out. Folks, you can bet when they're talking about the people going to get hurt, they ain't talking about you. They talking about themselves.
They is the people.
And that is a fact. Just like the Epstein list. There's a lot of them on it. Marjorie Taylor Greene wants that slush fund list of politicians that have used it to pay off their victims. And I guarantee you that thing's going to get cut too if it ain't already. Basically, it was their little private little piggy bank to be a hush fund, slush fund for paying off their victims.
And I say everybody's name that's on it should have to pay it back with interest.
Not to mention lose their job.
Yep.
And be criminally prosecuted. Because They doing all the things they claim Trump was doing.
Yep.
So,
And using government money to do it.
using taxpayer dollar to do it. So, and these are things you never heard about. Never even made it to a court. They just settled with them, say, hey, you know, we'll pay you this much. Just be quiet about it. Now that is illegal. So, you know, big old rabbit hole, folks. Big old rabbit hole. But, that sucker's, I'm beginning to wonder if it even has a bottom to it. So, all that stuff going on. But anyway, the Epstein list being brought out in faces, there's so much to it that I think it is a good idea to put it out through influencers, because that's where most people is going to hear about it. Most people ain't going to take the time to go to a website to look it up, sit there and read it. They're going to have a podcaster they like to listen to that'll have it, and we'll put it out there. They'll just listen to them. And then when the next page comes out, there's so much to it, a little at a time, make it where people will absorb it better that way as well. So I agree with how they're doing it. Another thing people ain't realizing, everybody's so anxious for that list, another thing they ain't realizing is that on top of that, they're dealing with old guard. They're trying to protect themselves as well as those that give them their orders from this thing, trying to protect themselves from justice, that are doing everything in their power to stymie the whole thing. And what people need to also realize, you're not dealing with sensible people. You're dealing with straight up killers. You're dealing with organizations and people who, if they can take you out and make you disappear, you will disappear. So they're trying to shake the tree to get some of the weakest ones out of it first, to where they'll start squealing. There'll be too many of them to be able to make disappear. You know, strategy, folks. You got to think strategy. You got to think tactics. You got to know your enemy. You know, you go into it thinking you can just grab it out their hands. No, you ain't going to do that. You're going to wind up dead and disappeared. Ain't nobody going to know what happened. So, you think about it. They already tried to take Trump out twice that we know of.
More than twice.
You know, well, I said that we know of.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm pretty sure Trump still has his private security detail as well as the Secret Service, because he might not trust the Secret Service all that much. And I wouldn't blame him.
Okay, thank you.
You know, because there's going to be some old guard in that too. That's done been proven. Skunk. Ugh. But anyway, oh man, dude, there's just so much. I thought that was funny, Pelosi getting up there putting her 2 cents in. It's going to hurt the people. No, it's going to hurt your bottom line, because you've been stealing from the taxpayer. And this is one of the many ways you've been stealing from the taxpayer. Mr. Popo up there.
Yep.
Kind of hid in the shadow a little bit. And I think that's Popo. Yeah. That's
Oh
Popo.
yeah, Popo sits there all the time unless he's out
That's
getting
a
somebody.
different Popo.
Yeah, usually it's a van.
SUV.
Yeah, that SUV.
But Yeah. Small steps, people. Small steps. We've had a shadow government in control for 40, 50, 60 years. They're heavily entrenched. Yeah, I'll put it this way. Iwo Jima, World War II, hard-won battle. We lost tons of people on that. Why? Because Japan had been there for years, digging bunkers and trenches and all sorts of stuff. They had a network of it going on. So they were so dug in, it took the lives of many of our men in order to take that thing, because they were so entrenched. And it took them a long time as far as battles go. Ships throwing in shells, men on the ground taking fire, everything. Well, that's what we got going on, except in a political sense, governmental sense, because you've got a shadow government that think it's the true power and not the people. They got a government pretty much as a showpiece for the people, and then they got what they consider the true government. And they ain't wanting to give up their power. So small steps, people. There's going to be a lot of battles along the way. We're going to win some, lose some. You have to come back around and try to do it a different way. Yeah. It's only been a month.
Not the 2 years it feels.
Yeah, it's only been a month. And before I get off here, I'm going to put one other little tidbit in there that I was listening to this morning that Lane was listening to on hers. It looks like Canada will become the 51st state. It seems that Trump has been talking to England. And he may have been talking with them before the election. That's why he brought it up when he did to Trudeau. That may have been why Trudeau would come down to Mar-a-Lago and talk to him, because he knew he'd been talking to England and he was going to try to circumvent it. And I wouldn't blame England. We're supporting Canada by a whole lot. And you know England's taking a loss supporting them as still being part of their territory. And everything. And so, since it would be right next door to us, right there for us, and we're subsidizing them anyhow, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all think about it, Piggy does you.